For 19 seasons, the NBA has seen a player by the name of LeBron James, who a lot of people is one of the greatest of all time. And when we look at his stats and his accolades and his accomplishments, that's a pretty valid argument. Now, earlier in the intro, I mentioned that LeBron James has played for 19 seasons, which if you don't know is crazy as it is. And the things he's doing at year 19, the man is doing unspeakable things that a lot of people would not have expected from a person that's about to enter their 20th season. And him playing 20 seasons in itself is very much of an accomplishment. In the NBA, only 8 players total all time have played 20 or more seasons. Besides guys like Dolph Schayes and Vince Carter, most of these guys are NBA legends. However, when it came to around their 20th season, their career was just about over, or they were just on their final run. That, or they were just trying to win a ring. And with LeBron James only 1 season away from joining that club, it should be noted that not only is he about to join them, but he's going to be doing things that a whole lot of people have not seen in a player that's played for 2 decades. And how is that? How is LeBron James, a player that has played for so damn long, able to continue the success that he's been able to continue? And with, as of recently, LeBron James putting up an MVP candidate season, I have to ask the question. When Kobe was in his 20th season, it seemed like that he was literally on his final pair of legs. LeBron, on the other hand, looks like he could play for another 10 years. But how is that even possible when LeBron James has played a lot more playoff series and total games throughout his career? Well, in today's video, we're going to be talking about a conspiracy theory about LeBron James that has been thrown under the rug that not a whole lot of people know about. A quick disclaimer before I get into the content: if you guys could obviously leave a like on this and subscribe to the channel if you're new and notifications on. We're trying to hit 100,000 subscribers on this channel by the end of the year. And second off, and most importantly, everything I'm about to list in this video is going to be off straight up facts and articles and things that are public information. I am going to list the conspiracy theory, all the facts, all the details, and maybe even some of my thoughts. However, after the fact I discuss the theory, I'm going to be coming up with a counter argument for this not being true. In the comment section below, I want you to answer if you think this conspiracy theory I'm about to tell you about LeBron James is true and how much you believe in it. With all that being said, let's get into the video. In the world of sports, there are 3 known PEDs, and if you don't know what that means, I'm going to put it on the screen right now. When it comes to PEDs, there are 3 well-known PEDs, and the first one is steroids, which is pretty popular. To put it simply, steroids just gives you a lot of muscles and it makes them look more defined and more bigger, and it fills up your body with more testosterone, which to most people seems like a good idea, but in all realness, maybe in football and baseball it's smart, but in basketball it is not something you should use. I'm not trying to justify the use of steroids, but I'm just saying that in basketball it would be the dumbest to use them. The second PED is a little less known than steroids, but it's called EPOs, or blood doping, which is mainly used for endurance. And the third one, which a lot of people don't really talk about, is called HGH. Even though HGH is used around the NBA, it just doesn't get talked about a lot. Now, what HGH is, it's considered a growth hormone, and it makes you be able to have more definition in your muscles, but it mostly messes with your blood. To make this seem a lot simpler, I'm gonna list some side effects that HGH has, and you tell me if this relates to LeBron or not. Muscle growth, hair loss, and cramps. Now, those facts that I just laid out for you don't exactly make a good reason for people thinking that this is a possibility. However, we're gonna get into a story that makes a lot of people believe this is possible. From a 2013 article that I will try to link in the description below if I can find it, a steroid clinic claims that it had to provide a bottle for someone with the name LJ. LJ obviously being the initials for LeBron James, and someone by the name of Paul would pick it up regularly. Paul as in Rich Paul. For those of you that don't know who Rich Paul is, he is the agent of LeBron James. And back in 2013, not a whole lot of people really paid attention to Rich Paul, and the media did not care about him. And in 2013, LeBron James was playing for the Miami Heat, and this was around the time when he started to put on a lot of muscle. And if we skip forward to when LeBron James would return to Cleveland before they won a championship, the team was struggling and LeBron James was not playing the same. And according to people I've talked to about the situation, remember that at one point he he claimed that he had to go back to Miami during that time in Cleveland and apparently refuel. At least that was a storyline back then around 2016 to 2015. I don't remember that time of LeBron James doing that, so I'm not going to validate that. Now around 2014 to 2015, one of the biggest memes, if you were roasting people, was making fun of someone's hairline. And LeBron James was one of the biggest people when it came to people talking about his hairline. And according to side effects, like I said, it mentions that it does have some hair loss tendencies, so maybe that has to do with it. Which explains at the age of 37 how he is still able to dominate and even do better than when his prime was considered. Those are all the facts that I have laid out for you. Now, is it possible that this is actually true? Earlier on in the video, I told you I was going to do a counterclaim, and that is what I'm going to do right now. And if you've stuck around to this part of the video and you're actually listening, then thank you, because there's going to be a couple people that see the notification or they see me start talking about HGH and they're going to try to say that I'm a dumb conspiracy theorist and that I just don't know what I'm talking about. Now, it has been reported for years that LeBron James spends a lot of money on his body as it's an investment of his. He spends about $1.5 million each year on just random things for his body, which you could probably guess has things like personal chefs because he has one of the craziest diets that I've ever seen in the NBA, cryotherapy, a hyperbaric chamber, Normatec leg boots, personal trainers, and other stuff of that nature. And if you follow LeBron James on Instagram or you just know what's going on in his life, you know that he is very much of a gym rat. He's always in the gym, he's always working out, he's always posting stuff like that. And someone that I compare to LeBron James kind of is Tom Brady, because Tom Brady is 43 years old in the NFL right now, and while NFL in my opinion is more of a dangerous sport than basketball, the man is 6 years older and he is still one of the best NFL quarterbacks in the game right now. Now, I can't find the exact number, but I would like to think that Tom Brady does spend about $1 million on his body per year. On top of that, he has a company called TB12, which is his own company for working out and stuff of that nature. But the only difference between the two is Tom Brady isn't really known for being the most athletic guy. In fact, someone called him one of the most slowest. So to even try to infer that Tom Brady is using PEDs would be insane and you would be called crazy. However, when LeBron is doing stuff like this at the age of 37 is insane to me. Of course, Tom Brady plays quarterback, which doesn't really use the most amount of moving, especially when he's considered to be a pocket passer. Meanwhile, basketball requires you to run a lot more than you would in football, and especially if you're LeBron James, who has logged more minutes on your legs in one season than we will for our whole entire life. So as of I have shown you a claim to this and I've shown you a counterclaim, do I believe that LeBron James has or is currently using HGH? And truth be told, I think that this is very much a possibility that LeBron James is in fact on HGH. Even some of the greatest players of all time, even Michael Jordan himself, weren't able to do things like this in year 19. If this is true, the NBA would have no reason to stop this because LeBron James isn't a bad guy, and to most people he's seen as a role model. Of course, you have to look at the fact that the man does spend $1.5 million on his body, but if you think about it, if he's using that $1.5 million on his body, is some of that money going into HGH? I think it's definitely possible, especially when the man is damn near 40 doing crazy things like that we've seen in the past couple years. In the comment section below, I want you to tell me what you think about this and if this is true or not. But with all that being said, if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you do leave a like on this and subscribe to the channel for new notifications on. I will see you guys in the next video. Have an amazing day. Take care. Peace.
Together, or sometimes I wish I never met. But we both know that's a lie. Hard to leave it